Think about how much of our time online is spent just clicking, right? You're opening tabs, you're searching, you're filtering, you're clicking again. It's this constant manual grind. But what if that could all change? Well, today, we're going to dive into a technology that's trying to do just that. It's all about turning your browser from just a window into an active assistant.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Instead of you doing all the tedious work, the browser just understands what you're trying to do and does it for you. It literally becomes your personal navigator, your researcher. It brings the answers right to you without all that manual labor. And that's the big question, isn't it? Is this all just sci-fi, or is it actually here? Well, the answer is, this isn't some far-off concept anymore. The tools that make this happen are here right now, and they're starting to completely change how we interact with the web. So to really get a grip on this shift, we're going to explore an AI-native browser that makes this whole idea of command-based browsing a reality. You can kind of think of it as a sneak peek of where this entire type of software is going. Just think about the last time you had to do a big task online. Maybe you were researching something, planning a trip, or hunting for a specific product. It's always the same, right? A constant cycle of opening new tabs, changing your search words, and trying to piece everything together yourself. Yeah, it gets the job done, but man, it's so inefficient. So what's the alternative? Well, this is where a tool called the Comet browser from Perplexity AI comes into play. It's a browser built from the ground up to be your smart co-pilot for the web. And honestly, it's a perfect example of this whole new trend. The main idea here is actually really simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. See, Commit isn't just a passive window for looking at websites. Nope, it's an active participant. You just give it a goal, and its built-in AI assistant takes care of all the annoying little steps in between.
And getting started? It's about as easy as it gets. It's just a simple download and install, and it works on both PC and Mac. Once you're logged in, you're ready to start commanding. There's no complicated setup or anything, which is awesome.
Okay, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this thing actually performs in the real world. We'll start with something we've all done, trying to buy a very specific thing online on a very specific budget. Now think about it. That's a task with a lot of steps. Normally, you'd have to go to the site, find the search bar, type in green screen, then find the price filter, set your limit, and then you can finally look at the results. But with this new approach, that whole sentence, that's the command. And this is what happens behind the scenes instantly. The AI just completely takes over. It goes to the right website, does the search, puts on the price filter, and brings up the exact product page. All those clicks you were about to make, they're just automated, done in a flash. And this just perfectly shows the difference, right? What would have taken you several minutes of clicking and navigating around is now boiled down to a single command that takes, a few seconds to run. The amount of time you save is just huge. Okay, so it's obviously great for these simple, direct tasks. But what about more complex research? Let's push it a bit. Let's see what happens when we need it to not just find something, but to actually gather and combine information from a bunch of different places at once. Now this is a much bigger ask. We're not just talking about finding one product on one website anymore. The user is basically asking the AI to be a full-blown research assistant, to shop around, compare all the auctions, and then summarize the best ones. And just look at the result it gives back. The AI doesn't just spit out a list of links. No way. It actually processes the info from 5 different stores and lays it all out in this perfectly structured comparison table, complete with pros and cons. It's doing all the heavy lifting, all the analysis for you. This ability to pull information together isn't just for shopping. The same basic idea works for pretty much any research task. For instance, let's try asking it for a quick briefing on the latest AI news from a bunch of different sources. And again, check out the result. Instead of you having to go to 5 different news sites and wade through all these long articles, the browser just scans them all and pulls out the key headlines into one clean, bulleted summary. It's like an instant news briefing right there. Okay, so it can navigate for you and it can do research for you. But maybe the most tightly integrated feature is how it helps you understand the stuff on the page you're already on. It's kind of like having an expert sitting right there next to you. Come on, we've all been there, right? You land on a product page and the description is just packed with technical jargon and marketing fluff. All you want to know is, in simple terms, what does this thing do and why should I care? You're just sitting there thinking, okay, what's the bottom line?
And usually, what do? You probably have to copy all that text, open another tab, and paste it into a separate AI tool just to get a simple explanation.
Well, with an AI native browser, that assistant is built right in. You don't have to leave the page at all. You just ask the browser, which already knows exactly what you're looking at, to break it down for you. And bam, here's the result. The AI just cuts through all that noise. It reads the page and boils down all that technical stuff into a simple, clean summary of what really matters. So the key takeaway here is that the entire process, from finding something to actually understanding it all happens in one place. It's totally seamless. So when you put all these pieces together, the automated navigation, the research across multiple sites, and the on-page understanding, it really starts to feel less like a simple product update and more like a genuine revolution in how we use the internet. The source material actually had a great way of putting it. It's like having Aladdin's lamp. Your wish, what you intend to do, is the browser's command. It's all about closing that gap between what you want to do and actually getting it done, and that saves you a massive amount of time and mental energy. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. As AI gets more and more baked into our everyday tools, it forces us to rethink what they're even for. Should a browser just be a window to the internet? Or should it be your co-pilot, an active partner that helps you conquer it? The answer to that question might just define what the next decade of our online lives looks like.